Hey ho folks, what's up? This is Makro and today we're playing Satisfactory again. Last time around we started with the plan for our aluminum factory, I'm so sorry, which I promised to refine a bit and come up with a final plan. I can tell you I did that, and I did a lot more. I basically prepared the whole factory site here, including a train station, including another train station actually, and another freight platform for another train station that was already in place. And of course, I also built all the required railways and stuff like that. So we should be basically good to go. Let me give you a quick tour. So we're here back at where we placed our first radar tower, right, in the northwest. And I guess let's start with the train station. That is this one. I extended the railway over to here from central this way and then over to here, right? And we currently have 4 platforms here actually. Our default aux platform for our construction train. Then we have a platform for the products to be delivered back to central. Then unfortunately we need another platform for bauxite. I gotta look up the pronunciation, dude. Is it either bauxite or bauxite? I don't know. I will continue saying bauxite until I find out. All right, so there's no bauxite close by here, as you can see on the map. So I had to build another train station. And this one is all the way back there close to our current turbo fuel plant, right? So it's basically down here. And there's a pure bauxite node, which gives us all the bauxite we need for our factory. And the only purpose of this train station currently is to transport all of this over to here, where we are, right? Currently, there's only one train going. We gotta see if that's going to be enough to bring all the bauxite here, because we need 480 per minute. We'll see about that in a minute when we look at the plan. Over there, you can already see that's basically our factory building, right? And the 4th train station platform here is for oil. Since we also have no oil available around here, I connected another one of those oil wells here over at our HMF factory and added another platform, and this one delivers oil here. So that's this platform. The outputs of those platforms are already connected over to the factory building. Right here, and right there. Also, I took care of water. We need 500 and change. I don't know exactly which amount. Currently, we have 5 full water extractors running, so that should be 600 cubic meters per minute, and we are using the MK2 pipelines here, which allow us to, where is it here? Which allow for a maximum flow rate of 600, right? So that should be fine. We should maybe downclock them at some point, but the extractors, I mean, but not that big of a deal as of right now. And also right below our factory building, there is a little copper mine. Unfortunately, it's only an impure one, and it needed to be overclocked to 250%, so that it gives us 150 per minute. And at least in the future, we got to take care of replacing that one with an MK3 miner, because we need 162.667. So 163 basically. But not for now, because you might remember, or did I actually talk about that in the last episode? I think so, actually. Yeah, that we will build the factory in kind of 2 stages, as we did for the steel factory over there, by the way, since we need more unlocks before we have access to the products of the final stage, right? And before that, we need some aluminum stuff, and that's going to be produced by the basic stage of the factory. And that's what we are going to do today. We can have a quick look inside here, but that's nothing special. A big room. You might hear the reverb in the room, the echoes, right? Sorry. And I also added kind of a next floor, just some starter walls here, basically. We actually have a nice overview from here. Isn't that something? And by the way, I gotta say, the hover pack is something. It's so much easier to build stuff and to get around. You can't even imagine. But maybe you get a picture of that in the next episodes. All right. So we talked about the factory plan. So let's have a brief look. For now, there are 2 plans here, basically, as for the steel products thingy over there. But how to start? Let's start with the final one. So the final one is going to be this, right? It's going to produce sheets, 20 casings, and also 10 cooling systems and 5 modular frames. That's what we want to do here. 4 outputs over here. But we also need sheets and casings. That's what we want to produce in the basic stage right now, because we need to unlock those 2, right? That's what I was talking about earlier. We need sheets and casings as intermediate products here as well. So if we, for instance, take a look at casings here, there are the 20 that we want to bring into our central storage, but there are only also 250 as well that we need for fused modular frames in this case, right? And same goes for the aluminum sheets. There are the 20 for the storage, and there are another 100 that we need for heat sinks in this case. By the way, why don't we produce any heat sinks? Do we need heat sinks for anything? Or is it like the screws? I'm not sure. Maybe we need to adjust this a little bit. Well, you know what? Let's find out together. Let me pull up a little search. You know, generally I don't like to look stuff up, but the only thing I kind of allow is to look up products or items that we haven't locked yet. We kind of did that when we planned the factory last time, right? So why not do that? Okay, that's the Wikipedia, no, not Wikipedia, but the fandom entry for heat sinks. So there are 2 recipes. Okay. Usage, cooling systems, that's fine. Plutonium fuel rods. Okay, we don't care about that for now. If we ever go into nuclear power, we will produce more heat sinks on site then. Radio connection units. Those are really, really important as far as I remember. Or radio control units. Oh, that's just, okay, that's just a alternate recipe. Okay. Can be sunk. Okay, that's fine. So the main thing, exchange. Oh, that's the alternate recipe. Okay, so the main thing I wanted to make sure is that we don't need it to craft any buildings, which we don't need. Okay, cool. So we don't care about heat sinks as of right now, as a final product, right? Okay, so don't care about heat sinks, but we care about the extra aluminum sheets and casings here, right? And this is what I kind of did. I took this whole factory, the final one, I removed those 2 outputs, and I added all the intermediate sheets and casings to these numbers here. And this is what I have come up with. That's our basic factory. So all the numbers we see here are basically final, except for water, but we already took care of that. That was 500 something, 554. We have that available already, so we don't have to connect more water when we extend the factory to the final stage, right? And except for copper, as I already told you, in the final stage we need 160 something. Where is it? There, 162, right? Same amount of bauxite, same amount of crude oil, right? Crude oil and bauxite. Different amounts of water and copper. So we are basically prepared for the final stage, and we can just focus on these 2 things first, right? That's what we're gonna do. Another thing you might have asked, well, if you don't have bauxite and oil available up here, why even build a factory there? And this is because our only known nitrogen well is up here. We kind of stumbled upon it, right? And marked it on the map. And there are, of course, others on the map, but we are not able to scan for them as of right now. We would have to unlock that first. So, since there's no consistent way for me to check for more nitrogen, we are going to build that here and then bring the nitrogen over later. All right. Oh, another thing. Recipes, right? That's what I wanted to do. Let's see. I have a lot of recipes. Aluminum. Available. This one we unlocked last time, and we are going to use that. The pure recipe I also unlocked. I think we should have, yeah, the L-clad casing recipe as well. Should save a lot of aluminum, using some more copper in this case, but that's fine. And that's basically is it. One other thing. I think I also unlocked that in between episodes. We are going to use iron pipes here, since we don't want it to introduce coal. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem since coal is plenty of coal actually is close by. So maybe we are going to do that. Let's just for science check what happens if we don't use that one. So now we need coal, right? Yeah. But that's no problem. Only 4 foundries. That's okay. We can live with that. Is it less or more iron? I don't know, but actually doesn't matter. A lot less water, though. Yeah, of course, since we probably need a lot less iron, right? Anything else? Bauxite is the same. Copper is the same. Nitrogen, I don't know. Limestone, I don't know. 160 coal is no problem, actually. And we need none of that for now, right? Since we need steel pipes only over here, and that's the only steel product we have, only for the frames, and that's only for the other frames. Okay. So that does not affect our current factory in any way, right? What is it? It's still 270 casings and 120 sheets. 120, 270. Good. Okay. Slight change of plans. Using coal. And by the way, since we have rubber as a byproduct, so what do we actually need that for? Because of petroleum coke. We need heavy oil residue and no, not the casings. The heat sink? No. The cooling systems also need rubber. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we trust the calculator, of course, and the calculator determined that that's the best way to do it, right? Yeah, because we have rubber as a byproduct, I am going to use rubber concrete here, actually, not the wet concrete. I mean, I think I have both enabled. Let's have a look. Yeah. But this way we can reduce our byproduct rubber here a little bit and use less limestone then and use less water. So maybe that's a good idea. Okay, so now that we only need 400 water, we might wanna scrap. Oh, I just realized that I did stuff that you didn't see, right? Okay, cool. So there you go. Shoot. Okay. Byproduct rubber down here used for rubber concrete, right? A little less limestone used since we need rubber anyway, and the system decided that this is the best way to do it. Okay, this way, iron ore over here. There we replaced the iron pipe production basically by producing steel first and then steel pipes from that. So now we need coal, but no problem. We have a lot of coal. Water, that's what I was talking about a second ago. We originally needed 550 something and now only need 407. So we might want to downclock. No, we can even remove one. That's what we're going to do next. And the numbers, yeah, you got to just trust me that the numbers for the sheets and the casings, that they were correct. And everything else is still the same amount of copper, same amount of oil, and same amount of bauxite. Cool. So let's hop back into the game. And let's shrink our water production a little bit. So 400 something means that we only need 4 of them. Each one produces 120, right? So 3 would be 360. That wouldn't be enough, but 4 would be like 480, and that's more than enough actually. So cool. Less water. More coal, less water. No problem. All right. "20 minutes in, and we haven't done much more than just catching up with what I did in between, right? Cool. There's one more thing that I want to talk about before we actually do that. Let me show you real quick. There is this weird thing here, right? So we are going to use water and bauxite to produce sloppy alumina, which is a liquid as well. So alumina solution is actually the liquid. And this one will be used by those refineries, which will also use, the petroleum coke. Yeah, of course. And they will produce aluminum scrap and water as well. And this water will be fed back into the system. So these refineries will basically have 2 inputs of water, one from our extractors and one from those refineries fed back, right? And we have to make sure that this water is used first, right? Otherwise, it will clog up, those will stop producing, and everything will halt, basically, right? And we don't want that, so this water should always be used first, and this should only be considered additional water. And there is actually a system for that. And this is this one here. Is that any official document here? I don't know, but that's what I found, and that's what I did in my last playthrough as well. So everything that you want to have additionally, you got to bring in from the top, right? From here. So this will be our pipe coming from the feedback pipe, basically, right? And this will be the pipe from the outside. That's crucial that we do it this way. Just so you heard of that, and we can just use this principle, or mechanic rather, to do stuff. Okay, that should be water, and that should be oil, that should be bauxite, and over there somewhere, in the end, that's copper. All right, let's see where we want to start. We could start with the sloppy alumina. That would use all the bauxite we get and some of the water. And then we can directly take care of what we just talked about, right? So how are we gonna do it? There's no way for me to turn them, right? That's a bit of a bummer. We gotta make sure to use MK2 pipes here, at least for the moment. I don't appreciate how the pipe has to bend down. All right. Let's start with the refineries. Where are we going to place them? I always like to start kind of in the edge, in the corner, I mean, not in the edge, in the corner of the building. But maybe in this case, we just want to start here. Yeah, let's do that. Give me some refineries. Let's leave a bit more space since we need to care about that feedback water thingy. Let me double check how many refineries. It's 3. So 2 and 3 and the last one. I did it again, didn't I? Yeah. No, let's do that as the last thing actually. And you gotta do it like this and 40% only. So we have 480 plus 96, 576. Yes, yes, exactly right. Okay, so let's take care of water first, as always. And water is going to be much more than 300 overall. So we need to use MK2 pipes here. Actually, it doesn't really matter. It's as for the conveyor belts, we can always use MK2, right? So maybe we shouldn't worry too much about that. Let's use MK1 pipes for those nevertheless. Remove all the remaining stuff as always. And now the priority should always be this one here, right? Let's pull a pipe somewhere so that we keep that in mind. And then let's add another junction. You know what? Let's not do that right away. Let's see. How are we gonna do that so that it doesn't look like the first pipe that we ever built, right? We want to bring that over. I'm not too sure. Maybe let's do something like that. That's perfectly straight. Let's get another pipe going this way. That's just for the junction to be at the right spot. Now we can get rid of all the rest. Bring that pipe over. Huh, perfect. Like so. Huh. Problem is, you might already notice that this one is not high enough for this. We could lower this whole thing here a little bit, which would kind of violate our common design principles. Let me check something here. If we were to lower it to here, no, that's not possible. We would have to lower it down to here. Oh, they're still intermediate? So that's basically the second step, right? Let's see. Would be this one. Okay. Let's check this out. So like this. And now we were, whoopsie. If we were to do something like this, that would be fine actually. All right. I guess then let's do it like this. Start over again and just do something like this. Let's see if that actually works in terms of the single. I just realized that might work, yeah, of course, but we also want to feed bauxite in there, and that's gonna look weird. Let's see how close we can bring that. Oopsie. You know what? Like that. So if we can bring it any closer, that's already clipping, huh? Oh yeah. Ah. No, it's not gonna work. Huh. Yeah, I don't like the idea. How about that? That work? Nope. how about that? That should work, right? Yeah. I mean, it's still kind of weird. Let's see if we were to place... Yeah, I mean, ignore that one. That's not really relevant. Okay, so we could place splitters like here. And then like that. Well, yeah, I guess so. Let's do it like that then. All of you. Move this weird stuff here. You can go. All right. Oh, it's that. Ah, yeah. Okay. Remove that as well. And nope, 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 nope. Like that. Cool. So then we are going to have our input kind of like this, right? And we have something like that. Can we get away? Yeah. All right. So now the input water comes from here, from above, and the overflow, or the feedback water basically will come from the next refineries. It was, I think. Yeah. Remove all of that for now. Let's connect the bauxite. Okay. Like that. Like that. And we just 1, 2, 1, 2. Just bring it around like this. I don't care at this point. All right. Bauxite and water, that's fine. Let's place an MK2 like so. Come on. There we go. You can connect up there, I don't care. And connect our refinery. So you should start producing alumina solution. Very good. And there's that. Have a look at this. Wait a second. Did we select sloppy alumina? Yeah. Okay. Good. Just wanted to make sure, right? Okay. That's done. And now we need 4 more refineries for scrap, well, and petroleum coke. So we should actually start with the oil first. Okay, let's build 4 refineries for rubber. Where did the oil come from? From there. Isn't that something? Okay. Maybe let's start with the refineries. About here. Make me some rubber. What? That's a recycle. Did I select recycled rubber? Okay, that was on me. 100%. Okay, cool. And that's 3.2 refineries. So 3, and that's 0.2. So 20%. As for the oil input, we do it the usual way here. And you know what? From now on, let's just use MK. 2 pipes. And not care about the actual input rates. Already did it here. Okay. So now we gotta bring the oil around from over here. And then, unfortunately, we gotta bring it down a little bit. I guess we are going to do that over here. And let's hope that we don't clip through the aluminum conveyor belt here. Do we? Yeah, we kind of do. Do we want to bring it down here? No, we don't. We just do it like that. There we go. Not very pretty, I know. But the alternative would be to redesign this wall hole here. And I don't feel like doing that. And for you, we actually are going to do this. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? Looking good. Cool. Throw away the bauxite. That's fine. Cool. You need power, I guess, right? So let's take care of that. Give me you. All right. Rubber. Okay, guys, let's have a last look at our plan here. And let's decide what else we are going to do, or what's our next step, basically. Let's bring that down a little bit here. So we took care of those. We need all the heavy oil residue in here. What's that? 20 rubber. Okay. And rubber there. Yeah, all the heavy oil residue goes into petroleum coke, and all that petroleum coke goes into our next refineries for the aluminum. And as for the rubber, we are simply going to scrap that for now. So all the rubber is basically a byproduct, right? Okay. So I guess we are going to place the next refineries over here, right? For the aluminum scrap, it is, I think, right? Feed in... no. First we got to take care of petroleum coke, right? So that's what we're probably gonna do next. Maybe like here. They need 40 per minute, right? What do you produce? 20 per minute. Okay. Well, that's all right. Okay. So, in the next episode, we will take care of petroleum coke and the next aluminum refineries over there. And yeah, let's see how far along we can get in terms of aluminum production, right? All right, guys, that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate it, and I hope to see you around next time as well. And until then, bye-bye.